Yeah, it's in there.
Hello everybody, this is Aviation Wiz, and I'm Nick Igo, and I'm going to be first talking to you about why we think driving is safer than flying, and B, why this is not true by a long shot. My best guess for why we think driving is safer than flying is because of how the media reports it to us. Let's be honest, the media controls our life a lot. What the media says is what we think, whether you like to admit it or not. So obviously the media will probably have a huge impact of what you think about the safety of aviation. And it does. Since we don't report car crashes at all, because, well, you know, it happens all the time, would you really like a news channel that reports all of the common things that happen on a day-to-day basis? No, you wouldn't. Hello everybody, this is the news, and next up, after the commercial breaks, we have someone ate a sandwich, someone opened the door to their home, someone bought an apple. Next up on the news. No, that'd be awful. That's why we don't report car crashes all the time. If we were to report every single car crash, that's all the news would be. Meanwhile, on a plane crash, it's not common. It's something new, refreshing. You're not going to see on a day-to-day basis, which is why we report all of them. This makes it seem like that plane crashes are more common than car crashes, even though it's the complete other way. Nonetheless, just because the media makes it seem like aviation is more dangerous, doesn't mean it's true. And I'm going to be covering why. To start off with, aviation goes through a lot more certification than your car. A plane is not allowed to have any recycled materials. A car needs to have recycled materials. Whenever we inspect our planes, we completely take the planes apart. When was the last time you completely took your car apart for an inspection? That's right, you don't. Also, this process is called an annual. We do it every year, which is how it gets its name. And it's also why aviation changes very slowly and why it's expensive. Let's start off with price because you're probably more worried about that. So why is aviation so expensive? It's because of your safety. The certification process takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money. For a little plane like a Cessna 172, you know, just those little planes you see that hold about 4 people, that cost about $1 million to certify those things. And if we're talking about an airliner or a jet, we're getting into the billions to certify it. That's why it's so expensive. It costs so much money to get these things airworthy. But it not only costs money, it costs precious time. Because we have to check every single scenario to make sure that it's its absolute best shape, it takes a while for the aviation industry to change, and we don't really get new stuff that often. Let's take something that you use on a day-to-day basis. A touchscreen. Touchscreens were mostly used around the 2000s and was, very common back then. It took about 15 years for them to make a plain version of a touchscreen. To be fair, the touchscreen is very nice. It's called the Garmin 750. It has a lot of useful screen features that just in general make your life a lot easier when you're flying the plane. But that doesn't mean it didn't take a lot of money and a lot of time to make it. To start off with, it cost you about $20,000 to buy it, when your average phone costs like $100, unless you're talking about an Apple. An Apple is probably closer to that $27 range. Anyways, moving aside, but it also takes around $20,000 to install it into the dash, so it can actually be used. As you can tell, it's very expensive, and it took 15 years to make this after the first touchscreen. Although safety isn't entirely dependent on the plane you're flying or the car you're driving, it also has to do with the actual driver or flyer. Let's be honest, the driving process does not take a lot of energy to do. And it doesn't take that much to get your driver's license. It's mostly just an age requirement why everyone isn't driving, including me. Well, I do, as you can see in some of my other videos. But, besides point of me, flying, you can't quite get your private pilot license quite as easily. It definitely takes a lot more work to do. You have to be good at math, so you have to do quick syncing. And not every person has their pilot license. About 0.3% of the world has their pilot license. That means you're not going to get some person who's very bad at flying to drive. Or, well, yeah, you will get a person that's not very good at driving to drive, but you won't get a person that's not very good at flying to fly. We only have good pilots if you're going to be flying. Which is why we have good pilots, and good pilots don't crash. That's going to be my new saying from now on, because it's true. So because of the good pilots and the good plane, it makes aviation a lot safer than driving your car. So keep in mind two things. One, if you're a pilot, you have permission to wear some awesome aviator Ray-Bans. And two, the drive over to the airport was probably more dangerous than the actual flight you were taking at the airport. So hopefully that makes you more comfortable flying. Until next time, see you later.